Welcome to the Trailer Park. We are talking new trailers for Joker, Birds of Prey, Titan Season 2, and Harley Quinn. Plus, Gunn's Suicide Squad keeps adding names, the Shazam director gives us the scoop on the original Superman scene, and so much freaking more. But first, I'm David C. Robertson, this is my co-host Jason Goss.
Hello!
And you are listening to DC On Screen, the podcast that covers the DC Comics multiverse on film and television, gives honest opinions on projects upcoming and past, and believes that every version of a property is valid, even if we really don't want it to be. If it's been released, it is fair game, so beware of spoilers, and welcome to the show. Well, man, this has been quite the week or two here.
Yeah, it's been a long few days as far as trailers go. You're right. Trailer Park, solid.
Yeah.
Solid.
But first, or second, I guess I should say, I want to thank our patrons, great supporters.
Mm-hmm.
The $1 tier will get you all of the normal episodes without an ad. You know how we put the little dynamic ads?
Fucking
I know.
Ads.
I hate them.
For stuff we haven't approved of at all. But they're there anyway.
They're there anyway. And, but they're not if you're a $1 a month patron. But if you're a $5 a month patron, you get that, and you get Jason's pull list and Chasing Squirrels and Marvel reviews and all those things.
Several of those coming up.
All right, you want to talk about Joker?
Mm-hmm.
Man, they put out this what they're calling the final trailer for Joker. This movie is going to be painful to watch.
I assume you mean the good kind of painful.
In a way, yeah.
Because
it's going to be
dope trailer.
It is a dope trailer, yeah, absolutely. But, dude, I feel so bad for Arthur Fleck.
Yeah.
Like, everybody is a steaming dick to this guy.
Yeah.
Like, even the lady on the bus is like, stop messing with my kid or whatever, but stop bothering my kid.
Yeah.
Like, the kid was laughing.
Yeah. Yeah, that had a Lady in the Tramp feel for me.
You meanie head.
Right?
My throat gave out. You meanie head was what I said.
Meanie. Yeah, there's that, and De Niro's character. I'm still wondering what context it is where they find footage of this guy doing what looks like an open mic that they make fun of on what looks like their version of
the Tonight Show
with Carson era almost.
Mm-hmm.
Like very, very popular Tonight Show. I don't know how they're going to tie those two together, but it was really rough to watch him in his mom's hospital room.
I would assume her deathbed based on that shot in the trailer we get later of him in the suit outside in the rain.
Yeah, there's a palliative care feel to the whole thing, and to watch him get so excited about seeing himself and the backlash and the just trampling on him, man. I mean, I feel like at the end of this film, I'm going to be rooting for him to kill a bunch of people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They for sure have made him the focus of this, and I'm pretty sure I'm into it.
Yeah. Oh, man, I feel so bad for him.
Yeah.
Like, ugh. When he tells I guess it's the psychiatrist maybe, or all I have are negative thoughts. Ugh.
I got the feeling that was someone that he's been seeing regularly that was, in the therapy world, you can have access to people, but it can be sometimes like having a public defendant. Mm-hmm. Where there is a person that's supposed to be trying to help you, but there's so much on their plate, they're at times impotent, like not able to actually get around to all the people that are in their care. So I got the feel of that bureaucratic kind of notion that she was just not able to actually listen. And I love the way he tells her, like, you don't listen. All I have are negative. You ask the same questions every time. That actually rung really true with me. It was like, yeah, I've been in those situations where, yeah, you're just asking the basic questions. You're just checking off stuff on a list. Any suicidal ideations? Any thoughts of harming? Blah blah blah. I get that. And then the negative thoughts thing in particular, that is a specific phrase in the world of psychology. Yeah, this is a guy who the system has completely forgotten about. Like, he's in it, but they don't give a fuck. There's no one actively trying to help Arthur Fleck.
And I would argue the exact, everyone is trying to hurt him. Like, everything we've seen in this trailer is like the lady on the bus is mean to him about playing with her kid.
Yeah.
We have like the people who are like
asshole vandals
thugs
of the street. Yeah.
Yeah, like beating him over the head with his own sign as a clown. You know, we've got like the guys in the subway in the previous trailers who beat the shit out of him in the subway.
Yeah.
Like, what is happening? Why are people so hateful of this dude?
Yeah. I get it, though. I think the one thing that's going to stick is they're building the one bad day mythology into one bad life. Like, what if somebody was just written off and forgotten to the point of true madness? And, I mean, for fuck's sake, like, this is a real thing for us in a lot of ways. Like, people do go mad, and people do get that forgotten, and you have shootings and shit like that. Like, this is a real character study. I get why they're putting it in. I get why they're thinking this isn't just a comic book film. We're taking it into a different area, and we're doing a character study, and you should consider us for awards.
What does he say in the trailer? I used to think I didn't exist, but now I know I do, and people are starting to notice something like that. Yeah. He said, dude, Joaquin Phoenix is such a good actor.
Oh, he's killing it here, though. It's great.
Did you? I gotta ask. I saw this, and then sure enough, I had to go back and look at the trailer again. Someone brought this up. This kind of made the news rounds, but there's a scene outside of a theater where there are like people in Joker masks running amok, like Joker terrorists or whatever.
Yeah.
And you can see a couple and their child running out of the front doors, and it totally looks like Thomas Wayne is the man. And on the side of the building is one of the theater posters that one of the movies they're advertising is Excalibur. That was on the marquee as coming soon in Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
In the scene where Bruce's parents get killed.
Nice.
You think they'll actually do a Batman origin here?
No.
You don't think so?
Absolutely not.
I'm not saying tie it to the BVS continuity. I'm saying do you think they'll actually show us the death of Thomas and Martha Wayne?
I don't think so.
I think they will, based on his interaction with young Bruce Wayne at the Wayne Manor fence.
Yeah, maybe. You're right. Maybe. All right, I'm gonna go with distinctly maybe,
begging.
But
it's just begging to be done, man.
Distinctly maybe, but no. I'm gonna go with no.
Okay.
I think they're gonna hint at it, but you're not gonna get anything that obtuse.
All right. I mean, I don't think we'll see it like an actual birth of Batman. But
oh God, no. I don't think you're gonna get anything more than
a reference to it.
A reference, yeah, an illusion. I don't. I mean, I could be wrong, and I'll be excited about. Honestly, I don't care. I'll be excited either way. It looks like it's gonna the film looks good based on what they're doing, and all they're doing is building the Joker. Mm-hmm. And by the way, the trailer ending with, "Hey Murray, when you introduce me, can you call me Joker?"
Yeah.
Oh, fuck me, that was good.
Yeah.
And he looks like he's got blood on him at the time. Like, I don't know what's going on. I really don't know what's going on in that scene, but it looked like he had already caused enough havoc that he's kind of a little bit taken over this news studio or this show's studio. I mean,
I hadn't considered that.
It did not look like a consensual meeting between him and Murray and Mark Maron.
I had not considered that. That's interesting. That's really cool. I'm gonna have to look back at that with that mindset.
I think he was there against their will, and they were dealing with it.
That's great. Our friend on Twitter,
look
Brandon
at Mark
Mayhem,
Maron in particular, and I realize.
Oh yeah, well.
Based on him, I know this could just be his resting face, but he looks super scared and nervous. Yeah, and I realize Mark Maron always kind of looks a little scared and nervous. I get it, and I love him for it. But
yeah, you saw all the stuff that's been going on with him lately, right?
Yeah, with him and. Yeah, I saw that.
Saying he wasn't going to watch any of the Marvel movies, and you're not going to bully me into it because I'm not going to be told what to do by a bunch of nerd babies or nerd children, grown male nerd children. I don't.
Yeah.
And now he's walking it back. I'm like, dude, just stand by it, dude. Come on.
I didn't see him walking it back. I actually saw a tweet where he essentially told the Marvel people, "Go fuck yourself, man. I don't care about any of that." And that's okay.
Yeah, but no, he's walking it back now.
Oh, he's walking that back?
Yeah, I guess so. I didn't read that. I didn't read the whole story. I was just like, okay, yeah. He's apologizing now, of course. I mean, when he said all that, he was on Conan. He was joking around about. He's like, I shouldn't have to go to like a small theater 15 minutes away, where they're playing grown-up movies, just so I could sit with other grown-ups and be confused about what the ending meant. You know, he's like, I want to be able to walk outside and be like, did the guy die? What happened there?
This is where me and Marin would argue. I think he thinks ambiguous endings are thoughtful, and I think they're fucking cop-outs.
Yeah.
I think we would have a heated conversation about this.
I think you and I do, but
yeah,
sometimes it depends on the movie.
Yeah.
Depends on the movie. It really does.
Yeah.
Didn't appreciate it in Birdman. Anyway, Brandon Bayham over on Twitter says, I'm so damn excited. Already watched this 5 times. I know Phillips said they weren't pulling from any certain source material, but come on. There was a bit of a Dark Knight Returns reference at the end, right? I didn't think about it. Like, when he said this on Twitter, I didn't know what the hell he was talking about. And he was like, you know, the talk show and Joker comes out and kills everyone.
Right. Yeah.
And okay.
It didn't occur to me. And
that makes sense.
Right. That is a for sure reference. And
it was weird because I'm pretty sure I thought that was a reference at some point and then just struck it from my memory. Like, nope.
No, here's what threw you off. If I had told you there's going to be a Joker appearance and there's going to be a talk show involved, we are huge fans of Conan, and he's the one who voiced that in the Dark Knight Returns animated feature. That would immediately occur to us as, oh yeah, Dark Knight Returns reference, because we would go down the Conan route and find it there.
Maybe.
I think Robert De Niro doing it is so different. And the other guy, I don't know who that is. I don't know who the dude is that actually punches him when you think this is funny, blah, blah, blah.
That's Thomas Wayne.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, forgot about that part. That's nice.
And by the way, I love the differences between his like fake laugh that he's just walking around, and that's creepy enough.
Oh, when he's just walking through a hall and doing the laugh thing?
Yeah, and then like going straight back to like frowny face, like that. I love the difference between that and his genuine like psychotic laugh that he's doing when he's laughing at Thomas Wayne.
Yeah, that part I got.
Joaquin.
He developed different laughs for different parts of this story, and I'll bet you this: he is going to have one laugh when he's trying to be a clown and trying to be hopeful and bright. He's going to have another laugh when he's getting his ass beat, like you're talking about, like that psychotic, true laughter, like the kind that gets in your spine and says, "Oh, you should worry about that fucker." And then he's probably going to have another when, like, that hallway scene, I think is going to be unique when he's just walking through the hall and laughing to himself at home. Or, I mean, he may not be to himself. His mom may be there at the time. I don't know what the context of that scene yet. But
it looked like when he was walking through the hall, he was like practicing, like his.
It looked like he was putting it on a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, he was definitely putting it on.
Like there's some crazy happening, but it's not. We're not there yet. Does that make sense?
It felt like the laughing equivalent of him like putting his fingers in his mouth and forcing himself to smile in the mirror while crying.
Maybe it also felt like stretching his legs. Like it's
I can see
part
that
of
too.
The journey, I guess, of him of what. And I love the shots of him coming down that set of stairs, splashing in the rain, kind of thing. It has wonderful context of like Kubrick Clockwork Orange kind of feel to it. Because the singing in the rain scene is what I think of a lot when I see him splashing around like that and doing those grandiose poses. And later when he's like the last scene when he's about to walk on stage and he's doing the grand posing and stuff like that, like, oh god, he is turning into a fucking cartoon, and we're gonna get to watch that. That's really cool.
Yeah,
I'm pretty excited about it.
So yeah, everybody's calling it a masterpiece. Everyone that's seeing it right now.
It's also super strong that they're releasing the movie to people that have a voice in the media this early. And weeks ago, even. I mean, it's...
Well, I mean, it's opening at the what was it, the Venice Film Festival? Something like that.
They're proud of this thing. They're super proud. There's no hesitation about this thing. I honestly, it's one of those, like, the cock's already out kind of thing. My zipper's undone.
All right. I don't know why you took me off guard with that.
Kind of reminds me of Lobo from last episode
of Krypton.
Yeah.
Well, Well, how do you like this? Todd Phillips was talking to Total Film Magazine.
Uh-huh.
And he says, one thing I will tell you, I would do anything with Joaquin any day of the week. There's nobody like him if he was willing to do it. And if people show up to this movie and Warner Brothers came to us and said, you know what? If you guys think of something as far as a sequel goes, well, I have a feeling that he and I could think of something pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like, they're already talking about
At
a
this
sequel.
point, I'm not opposed to I'm not opposed to it at all.
And this thing is tracking for something. Last I read, it was like 60 to 80 million.
Yeah. I saw 70 million somewhere as opening weekend.
Yeah.
Which would double what they've spent on the movie. It'd be,
yeah,
it'd be fine. It would make a ton, and it's gotten a lot of good reviews. It would be a boon, no matter how you do it.
And Todd Phillips also said as far as him knowing the character will get rebooted again, and I say this because this is so integral to the DC fandom. This is something the DC fandom needs to understand, and Todd Phillips understands it perfectly. He says, there are always going to be naysayers, but from what I gather about the momentum of the movie and the response to the teaser we put out, the majority of fans seem to be excited about going down a different road. But also, this will not be the last Joker movie ever made. It might be the last one Joaquin and I do, but someone else is going to come along and do another one, just like with Spider-Man. So if you don't like this one, don't worry, it will get reinvented. Again, that's the fun thing about these characters. In a way, comic books are our Shakespeare, and just like there are many versions of Hamlet and Macbeth, they've done 4 or 5 versions of the Joker in the last 25 or 30 years. So why not do another one that is wildly different? Please understand that.
Could not agree with any of that more.
Please understand that, fans. Viewers.
I've never compared it to Shakespeare.
I would.
I don't disagree. And I especially in the context he puts it in, like you can go find it. Whatever city you live in, if you wait 3 or 4 years, you can go find a local production of Midsummer Night's Dream, and it's going to be some take on it. Hell, my high school did it, and we did it in the 20s, like the roaring 20s. Yeah. You can find it any fucking where. But, I mean, I've always compared it because it's DC's mythology, and some of these people are demigods. I've always compared it to Greek mythology. Like, this is our version of mythology. Mm-hmm. I just think it fits more, and everybody there has powers. Whereas in Hamlet, you just have some ghosts. That's about it.
I don't know. I mean, I can see what he's talking about with Shakespeare. You remember that, or maybe you didn't see it, I don't know, but they did there was a really interesting rendition of King Lear several years back that had Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, I remember that.
And it was called King of Texas.
That fits.
And it was fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean,
I get it. I'm not opposed to that characterization at all, but for me, it's been more mythology, but it's coming from the same place. Mm-hmm. Completely agree on the take on it. Yeah, there's so many of these characters, and don't worry about it. You're going to find yours again. Just give it time.
Yeah. Hey, you want to know how much weight Joaquin Phoenix lost to play Joker?
Oh, God. How much?
52 pounds.
Jesus. What was he playing before? That is a lot. I mean, that is
a DC number right there.
Yeah, it is. But Jesus, that is serious poundage. And he's not scrawny. I mean, he is thin. His BMI is super low. But I mean, you see a lot of shirtless shots in this film, and that he's still wiry. Mm-hmm. Like that is still a guy who's got some serious like mainframe core strength going on.
Yeah, he definitely looks sickly, but not weak, and I think that's hard to pull off. But,
yeah,
Joaquin seems to have, or in his trainer, whoever that is, seemed to have figured it out.
Yeah,
he is painful to look at.
Yeah, those weird stretchy scenes with his torso, those are going to be odd.
That's some like Christian Bale machinist shit.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on with that.
Apparently,
where he's just like, I can put my liver in my neck. Okay.
Todd Phillips was talking to Los Angeles Times, and he said that it took him a full year to convince the studio to do this movie. He says it was a year-long process from when we finished the script just to get the new people on board with the vision, because I pitched it to an entirely different team than made it. And that makes perfect sense with how much Warner Brothers flips their people.
Yeah.
There were
also
emails
the
about
overall change that's been happening with Warner Brothers. But.
Mm-hmm. This is my favorite part. There were emails about, you realize we sell Joker pajamas at Target.
This is a beloved character. We can do some stuff.
He says, there were a zillion hurdles, and you just sort of had to navigate those one at a time. At the time, I would curse them in my head every day, but then I have to put it in perspective and go, they're pretty bold that they did this. Which,
yeah,
I think that you realize we sell Joker pajamas at Target was more in line with, why do you want to make it this rough? You know we sell Joker pajamas at Target.
Yeah, I mean, that argument can go both ways. Hey, we sell them at Target. You sell pajamas at Target.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, this movie officially has a hard R rating.
Yeah.
For strong bloody violence, disturbing behavior, language, and brief sexual images.
Yeah, it's gonna get dark.
It's gonna get dark.
I'm
so excited about it.
I'm pretty happy about that.
Speaking of dark, I had a whole story prepped for this episode about how there were trailer sites, like trailer tracking sites, who were listing that this thing was about to come out, and then it came out. I'm not sure I think this may have been a premature leak or whatever, but we're going to talk about it anyway. And if you don't want to, I'm sure we'll talk about it when the full English version comes out. But we have a Ukrainian Birds of Prey teaser trailer that found its way online on Reddit, and this thing, there's not a lot there, and it starts off with like red balloons, and they're totally playing it up like it's It, like it's an It teaser, like an It Chapter 2 teaser. Yeah, and then like the silhouette comes out and it's Harley Quinn instead of It, and some of the people on Reddit were saying, because it was in Ukrainian, so I don't know, but a bunch of people were saying that she was saying, "I'm so fucking over clowns," when she pops the balloons with her mallet. Yeah. Which would be awesome. It's like a 40-second thing.
I would applaud it. It really was in another language. The only thing that was relevant in our English was Sinus doing the woo, like excited about some kind of violent something or other. Other than that, it was a bunch of people shooting each other in some shots that I liked.
Yeah, there wasn't much of any like actual dialogue.
No.
So, dude, I watched Harley throw a mallet into a dude's face.
Yeah.
And like, man, they were punching some dudes. They punched one dude so hard, like blood, like a huge like string of blood flew out of his mouth. Yeah. It was seriously like the live action version of the Harley Quinn animated series trailer that we saw that we'll talk about later in this episode. Mm-hmm. I'm so excited about that. Yep. This looks great. It would be hard. You would be hard pressed to make me happier. This looks fantastic. Fantastic. Yep. And I'll tell you this, with the fact that the John Wick action coordinator / director is coming over and doing these scenes, which his company was already doing this movie anyway. So we don't know. I've seen some people saying on Twitter, they're doing the additional photography and the reshoots, and they're bringing in somebody else because the action sucked. We don't know that. It was his company anyway, guys.
Could be. Even if it's true, fuck it. Who cares?
Right?
You make... all right, let's say you make the entire movie and you're like, man, the action scenes could be better. And you bring in somebody that does John Wick's fucking action scenes. Why is this a problem? It doesn't have to... Like, this is another problem that fandom has. It doesn't have to be perfect on the first fucking draft. In fact, it shouldn't be. It's called the first draft. You should be bringing in extra people. You should be doing reshoots. All of these things are good, not bad. They're not worrisome. Mm-hmm. This should be comforting.
Unless it's Justice League.
Yeah, some problems. Some problems can happen, for sure.
We still enjoyed it.
Age of Ultron. There were problems. But
I didn't notice the reshoot problems on Age of Ultron. I really didn't.
No, I just noticed story problems. But it's not necessarily a bad thing. And in fact, in a lot of instances, can be a good thing when somebody says, you know what, I think we could do that better, and brings in some extra money and time to do it. Mm-hmm. It is not a free, like, it's one of those things where when you see an article that says reshoots, so-and-so's in trouble, immediately ignore that article.
Yeah, and it's not even necessarily an indication that they said, oh, this could be done better. Sometimes they plan to do stuff later on.
Yeah, sometimes you shoot a rough version of it and need to go back and look at how are we actually going to do that once we've gotten this started?
Or they don't even shoot it at all, and they just have like, okay, we're going to need to shoot this at a later date when we can actually get to it and give it the time it deserves. Like, it's not necessarily a reshoot. That's an internet
Delayed
term, as far as I can tell.
We'll
it is called additional photography.
Yeah. It's anyway. Yeah, don't freak out as much is the point.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I was gonna say, I think I might break down and watch John Wick. I might. I remember one. I think I've seen two, but I actually don't remember. And it's not going to be like a mind blowing set of films, the trilogy now. But I remember watching one and thinking, well, this is fun. Like, I think I watched it the same weekend I watched Kingsman. Mm-hmm. Because I was just in like, let's fuck it. I just want to watch some like stupid action movies. And they were really good at being like, yeah, this is it's got its own universe, something to engage in, a bit mindless fun, and genuinely, John Wick kills people cinematically in this gorgeous manner. Looks fantastic. Well, I mean, I don't expect too much from it as far as story. I might be given more than what I expect. And I will say I'm probably going to watch all of the Fast and the Furious movies before I ever get to John Wick. But
I would definitely do that in reverse.
I'm opening the door a little bit. I really want to see Hobbs and Shaw.
No. No. I mean, I just don't have I don't have any gumption. I mean, when I watched Kingsman, the thought was, I liked the action scenes in the trailers. Let's see what happens. And then watching John Wick, it was like, I like the action scene in the trailers, and I like Keanu. Let's see what goes. Let's see what happens. I've never had anything even bordering those thoughts with Fast and the Furious.
Well, the last two movies have looked really good, and Hobbs and Shaw just looks so much fun. Like, you got Idris Elba calling himself Black Superman. I'm just down, man. I just want to see.
I'm sure they're fun. I just have never gone down that road, so to speak.
And if I'm being honest, before John Wick, I'll probably watch all the Mission Impossible movies, because the last like 3 or 4 have had Simon Pegg, and I love that guy.
I do love that guy. I mean, I have his fucking autobiography on the shelf. I love Simon Pegg. I will not watch the last Mission Impossible movie because of the implications to Justice League. I refuse.
Oh, I love Henry Cavill. I'll support him. I'll go see it. It wasn't his fault.
It wasn't his fault, but it was that movie's fault. It was that studio's fault. I'm still a little salty.
I understand. I don't care. I'll do it. I'll do it anyway.
Yeah. I'm okay with that too. I have enough to watch in my queue that I can afford to be morally objectionable at certain things. like fuck that thing. Yeah. It'll be all right.
All right, over to the Suicide Squad. They're casting some people. Mm-hmm. And they're not telling us who. Like, it's who they're playing anyway. Looks like Nathan Fillion has been cast on the Suicide Squad, which oh my God, I'm so excited about that. Like, yes, please, Nathan Fillion in the DCEU.
Yeah, I don't care if he plays fucking Ratcatcher. Bring it.
I mean, I'll watch that dude, do anything.
I think he needs to be on set in general. He could be a gaffer, and I would still be like, yeah, he should be there. Mm-hmm. Probably got good notes.
Deadline is reporting that Taika Waititi is up for a role in the Suicide Squad. And
I saw that too, yeah.
Yes, please. I mean, I can't imagine it would be like a huge role because, I mean, the dude is like writing and directing Thor: Love and Thunder.
Oh yeah, he's busy.
And I'm assuming he'll be playing Korg again, but yeah. I will watch him in the Suicide Squad. That could be a lot of fun.
I can't remember. They're doing a television take of What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember how much he's involved with it, but I think he is involved with it.
I think he is in a producer's role, but I'm not sure.
It's something else on his slate. Like, the guy's got a lot of stuff to do. Right? I'm still happy to have him come in and do something goofy, probably. I'm betting something kind of goofy and probably fun.
Yeah. Comedian Steve Agee has been cast as King Shark.
I don't know that one.
He was one of the Ravagers in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. He was in Lifetime's American Princess, NBC's Superstore. He was on New Girl briefly. He was in FX's You're the Worst.
I'm going to know him from Superstore if I find... Oh, that guy. Yep. Yeah, I know that guy.
He did voice work for Adventure Time on Cartoon Network. He's been in a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, he's been in a ton of stuff.
And he's also a writer.
Too.
306 episodes of Jimmy Kimmel Live, apparently.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right. Shit.
They've cast Flula Borg as this is a dude from Pitch Perfect 2, and he's a YouTuber and a comedian. But he's been cast. I've seen him somewhere, and I can't place him. I've seen him somewhere. I don't know where though. And I even looked at his IMDb, and I was like, nope, I don't know. But I've probably just seen him on YouTube then. But he's been cast as a quote-unquote love interest to an unnamed character. Like, they are being real cagey about everybody that's in this movie.
Oh, yeah, there is zero information about what's actually happening in the movie right now.
And someone asked James Gunn. Oh, yeah. This is keeping the interest alive. And someone asked James Gunn on Twitter if the Suicide Squad will be really music heavy as well. And Gunn says, music is an incredibly important part of all of my films, both soundtrack and score. So yeah, but it will be a lot different than Guardians musically and in so many other ways.
I'm good with that. The Guardians soundtracks have been fantastic. By the way, Birds of Prey, that music, I don't know where to find that cut, and I'm going to go back and find it. But that was... first of all, Yaya's being involved in the soundtrack, fucking perfect. And especially it being Heads Will Roll and like a kind of like Nine Inch Nails Tool prog rock version of it. Oh, I really dug the sound of that fucking trailer.
Yeah, I did too.
That was really solid. I haven't had time. I'm gonna find the actual version of that song because it's worth finding. That sounded fantastic. Okay,
I might do that as well. I hadn't thought about it, except to think that that was a pretty cool song.
I love the original version of that song, and I've heard a couple of takes on it, but I hadn't heard something that sounds like it's happening on a 7-string Ibanez before, and I really enjoyed it.
All right, so over to Wonder Woman 1984. All right. Van Zeeken 018 had posted something to their story on Instagram, and it is an image of Rosanna Walls. It's an actress, and she's wearing armor that looks like the Amazon senators from Wonder Woman, but there's sort of a diagonal red gold stripe design to it. And so it looks like she'll probably be in Wonder Woman 1984, and she's hashtaged it they've hashtagged it Wonder Woman 1984, and it says it references the Bana Migdal Amazons, and in the comics those were an offshoot civilization they left the Amazonian tribe or whatever, and they rejected the Olympic gods, and they left Themyscira. And they were bad guys. They went to basically destroy mankind. So it looks like they're doing that in the movie. It looks like they're gonna be an antagonist. This tribe of Amazonians. Yeah. This offshoot. That's pretty neat. I think that's the first time we've heard about that. We've heard Maxwell Lord and Cheetah and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
But
there's plenty of precedent for them being a bit of an asshole here and there.
Of course, that doesn't mean that's going to be like
comes to mind.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be like heavily featured in the movie. It could just be a setup for a Wonder Woman 3.
Could be.
I've already seen some people kind of go, there's too many villains. We've already got Cheetah. We've got Maxwell Lord purportedly. We don't need a whole other race of Amazons. Well, they might be setting it up.
Yeah, and I admit that is a lot for one movie to deal with.
But not a lot for Wonder Woman to deal with.
Yeah.
She's
you only got a couple hours to tell your story, though. Andy
Muschietti has confirmed that The Flash is his next project.
With a simple yep.
Yep. He says, what captivated me about The Flash is the human drama in it, the human feelings and emotions that play in the drama. It's going to be fun, too. I can't promise that there will be any horror elements because he just did it.
All right.
But it's a beautiful human story. That's all I want to know. That's all I want to hear.
Fine.
It's like, oh, cool. You're doing it. Ezra
No, that's
Miller
ideal
has,
for you too. Is that we're gonna do like this. It's gonna be spectacular and visually blah 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 blah. I think you would lose interest far faster than if somebody told you we're gonna do a character story about Barry Allen. You'd be like, oh my god, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, that would be my interest.
That is way further up your alley.
I'm like, I mean, show him Be Fast if you want to, but can we just get like a 30-minute scene where he's sitting in a coffee shop, like talking about his feelings?
Right, yeah.
Ezra Miller says that it's
30
confirmed.
of those minutes, 12 of them should be one monologue.
Mm-hmm.
Like shot like it was in Louis, you know?
Yeah.
Perfect.
I can do that. I really do. I want there to be some really cool action, honestly. But
yeah, I think you like it. But
it's just got to have both. It's got to have both to keep my interest.
Yeah, it has to have moments.
He did.
Hey,
like,
as far as moments go, save one, and then you'll know what to do.
Yep, that was fantastic.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ezra Miller says The Flash is absolutely confirmed, as is Fantastic Beasts 3. So those are the things that he's doing.
The latter, definitely not surprising.
No, that's not surprising.
All
right, so
I don't know what is the end of the Harry Potter franchise, but we're not there yet.
Nah, it'll be a while.
It's plenty. Rowling will continue to be one of the most fantastically rich people on the planet.
Mm-hmm. Which, she wrote that little play that was supposed to be like old Harry Potter. And then it was like, oh, we're never gonna, it'll only be, performed in this place at this time. If you're not in whatever it was, London or whatever, you'll never see it. And then
she was going to be all Artur and cutting edge about it for a second.
Yeah, and then they kind of backtracked and released it as like a stage play book. Mm-hmm. And I'm certain they'll bring it out as a movie at some point.
Oh yeah,
but
that's just a matter of time.
So David Sandberg was doing like a live Q&A situation. Mm-hmm. And he was asked about the Superman cameo, and I know a lot of people are still upset about that. Really butthurt about
Salty.
that headless Superman. Yeah. David Sandberg says this: in the script, we had a little scene with Superman, but we only had a very narrow window to shoot this scene in the school, so we tried to make it work with Henry Cavill, but schedules did not align. I was like, what do we do now? We did an ending to our movie, so we actually shot a little alternative ending in case we were going to use that, where the kids see a hostage situation on TV and they just go out and fly off to deal with that. But I was like, we don't get the payoff with Shazam's going to show up at school. So we did this thing with our Shazam stunt double in a Superman suit, and we just cut out before you see his head, and it worked really well. I thought it was really funny. At first I was like, this is never going to work. This is going to feel cheap. But cutting out on Freddy's reaction like that, I think it's better than what we had originally planned. Originally, Superman is supposed to sit down, talk to the kids. Freddy was going to be like, I have so many questions. And then we were going to cut out. But this sudden cut to the credits just works so much better. I agree. I think I agree. Like, based on how he's described it, I think I like the version they did better than, like, actually having Cavill sit down and have a halfway conversation.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, I get the backlash too, because it was clearly supposed to be Cavill, but the climate in which that was shown was, we didn't know if we were ever going to see Cavill again, and it still is.
Still is.
So I get a bit of the outrage. I get how it feels like a cock tease, but I think it's going to be one of those things where if we see Cavill again in this role and people are happy with it, no one's ever going to think about that again.
Yeah,
and if we never see him again, that's going to feel like the people who are pissed about it are going to feel cheated.
They'll still feel act like they're cheated and hold a grudge against the movie.
Yeah,
they will.
There's a subdomain of people that are just going to be cheated either way.
But the mainstream audience doesn't. They thought it was funny. They didn't care.
Yeah,
they were fine. And I'm going to tell you this. All right, I was at work a couple days ago, and I show up in a Green Lantern shirt, and one of my coworkers looks at it and goes, "Green Lantern," and I went, "Oh, cool. I wouldn't have thought that you would have known who that was." And he was like, "Why? I know Green Lantern." I was like, "I don't know. He's kind of not really a mainstream guy. I know you don't really get into the comics." He's like, "Well, no, I grew up watching, Super Friends, Green Lantern, Flash, all that Marvel shit. All that Marvel shit. The mainstream audience does not know about your quibbles with DC and Marvel.
Yeah.
They don't care. It's all the same shit. We keep saying this over and over again. It's because it's true.
Yeah.
The mainstream audience doesn't care that you didn't see Superman's head. They just thought it was funny that Superman showed up for a second.
Yep.
And me personally, as I've said before on the show, I grew up in a world where we were squeeing over the fact that Bruce Wayne mentioned Metropolis in Batman Forever.
Yeah.
I know it's a new day, but get over yourselves. Good Lord. All right, look, we're going to be right back. And when we come back, we are going to talk about the Titans full trailer for season 2. We're going to have stuff about the Harley Quinn trailer. We've got Titans casting news.
I would say TV, but it's straight DC universe we're talking about almost.
Well, we do have some CW stuff. Yeah. Some pretty big CW stuff, if I'm being honest.
Oh.
So, yeah, all that after this.
Make your business stand out in the best way with signage from Image 360. Image 360 combines the latest production technology, materials, and years of expertise to deliver you the best visual resources for your brand. From storefront signs to vehicle graphics and more. Learn more and get a quote today at image360signs.com. That's image, the number 360, signs.com. Image 360, your expert source for comprehensive custom signage and graphic solutions.
All right, we are back, and we hope you enjoyed that commercial that we had absolutely nothing to do with.
Yep. It's a good product.
Maybe. Or might be another Trump campaign. Who knows?
I don't know. Another fucking mattress. I don't know.
Yep. Someone talking about progressive insurance. I don't know.
Could be.
But we've got a full Titan Season 2 trailer. I'm so in on this, man.
Oh, yeah.
Ian Glenn
We've
is
been
Bruce
in on
Wayne.
Titan since fucking 10 minutes into the pilot.
Yeah, pretty much. We've got Wade Wilson is the reason we shuttered this place.
Yeah.
Then going
the
back to do
itself.
Titans. Yeah, we've got like the old school Titans. We see Garth.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dick training the rest of the team.
Yep. We got Raven with the jewel on her head.
Yep.
Would you do it again? Put all the time and money into someone who just wants to leave? Bruce says, I would do it again exactly the same way.
Yep.
Shit yeah, Bruce. You tell that little piece of shit. You tell that little dick.
I regret nothing.
Man, we've got Dick and Jason like clashing, like Jason's you're the one in my way. Shit yeah, Titans are back, bitches. Hell yeah.
Jason is supposed to be a son of a bitch.
Yeah, we've got
I feel bad about
Ravager.
that because there are no good Jasons in fiction. But yeah, he's a son of a bitch.
Well, Jason Blood's okay.
No.
What about Jason and the Argonauts?
No. Whiny bitch.
No, okay.
Yeah, it's awful. When you actually look at it, it's terrible. He did nothing.
I can't think of any more, so you win.
Yeah, that's it. We are not well represented in the slightest.
What's the deal with you and Shimmer anyway? Well, first, her name is Shimmer, and that's just annoying.
Solid.
I love seeing Deathstroke. The costume looks awesome. He looks
Costume
awesome.
looks great. I like the disheveled look before where you can tell he's semi-retired. Oh, fuck. I got to go back, I guess.
Yeah, I love the Hawk
I
and
need to
Dove.
put these little bitches down. I'm going to do it.
I love the Hawk and Dove ultimatum.
Yeah.
I love what appears to be flashbacks of the original team. I'm all in. I'm all on board.
Oh, yeah. Super happy with it.
I don't even know what else to say. It just looks great.
Oh, the second teaser or trailer or whatever you want to call it ended with, I'm phrasing this wrong, but I think it was Dove talking to Dick saying, like, it's time. You have to be the Batman.
She says, yes, time, be Batman, which I don't take to mean literally.
I don't think he's going to put on the cowl.
I don't even think she's saying to put on the cowl, is because throughout the season 1, all he was doing was like being afraid that he was going to become like Batman.
Mm-hmm. I think what she's inciting in him at this point is we need a guy who thinks like that, and I know you're capable. Mm-hmm. Be Batman.
Yeah, I'm just down for it. I'm down. this is they didn't have to sell me on this. They didn't even have to show me these last 2 trailers, but they did, and I'm excited.
We were like, the end of season 1 had some. It wasn't even problems. It was truncated in a way that was a little bit weird. And
I was fine.
I loved what I saw, but it was truncated in a way that it promised to deliver something slightly different, and they tweaked what they were doing, but they tweaked it based on like, okay, we're gonna give you like an episode less, but here's the thing: we have big plans for season 2, and we're gonna seed them here. It was different. Like normal network shows, especially like when something gets tweaked and moved at the last minute, it's normally against the creative will. This felt like creatively they were like, no, we have a plan. This felt positive, right? As opposed to like normally when something gets moved around like that, it's negative. Like with Swamp Thing, for instance, it came out, we felt negative. It didn't help the story. It didn't help the product. With Titans, they did move some pieces around and they changed how they wanted to end season 1, but they did it with, I think, positive intentions.
Yeah.
We're going to get something that I think was better than originally planned.
I agree. I was fine with what they did because it was clear on the Titans front this was a creative decision. Swamp Thing, it was clearly not a creative decision. It was a bit
hostile.
Yeah, they were having the tip of their dick chopped off.
Yeah.
Now, if you ask me, it was a flaccid dick. And no great loss, but
the most frustrating problem of the series is there was a lot they could have done, and they showed glimpses of what they could have done, and it just didn't get to do it, which is frustrating.
Yeah. All right. So in the trailer, we also see Crypto, we see Connor Kent, we see Dr. Light.
Yeah.
I'm on cloud 9 with this thing.
Yeah. Down 3,000.
What was that? Like Wonder Girl Donna was saying, you're asking me to choose you or my destiny? Well, maybe they're the same thing. Oh gosh. All of this is so good. They're just hitting me on all fronts.
Yeah.
We've got Michael Mosley from Ozark, Sirens, and Fear the Walking Dead Passage as Dr. Light. He looks like he's going to do an okay job. From what I can tell in the trailers, he looked good.
Yeah.
Those are all solid things. I hear good things about all of those.
He sounds good. Like he sounded menacing in the second half we got him from the trailer, and I'm happy with it.
And now Greg Walker, the showrunner for Titans, was asked about like how Warner Brothers deals with them in terms of what characters they can use. And he said, what's funny about this is a lot of times we have to go and throw out ideas and names to our partners at DC and Warner Brothers to see who is clear. And sometimes you never realize that there may be a movie coming out 3 years from now that has a character. So we have Brian Miller in the room. We have some really glorified comic personalities in there. They'll throw out names and we'll come up with a storyline. Before we go too deep, though, we have to call our partners at DC and they'll be like, no, that's taken. Or no one thought about that. And Jeff Johns is a genius at that. I'll leave it open that anything's possible providing that we can make it through the DC Warner Brothers matrix to get characters. That is still so frustrating to me.
But there's a
wall where they're like, you can't use that.
No, I love that even it name checks Jeff Johns as a bit of a cipher. He is encyclopedic as far as his knowledge of DC goes, and what he's written has built new wings of that house. I mean, he in the history of DC Comics, that motherfucker is gonna have a chapter, like an entire chapter, and he's gonna influence other chapters. But he's so big as far like I love that going through him, you can at least find room sometimes where it's like, no, they're not using that version of that character. I think you can find leeway going through him where somebody understands like you're not the name doesn't matter. If you're doing a version of something and another version's happening somewhere else, I think you can do it in different places. Like this is something we agree with, we know, we understand, we love. I think he's there fighting that battle a little bit. Now I appreciate him for it.
Yeah, but I still am annoyed with the fact that you can't use the same character in 2 different places. I'm just annoyed by that in general.
I agree. I mean, growing up reading comics, I've got comics on my desk right now measuring 2.5 inches. Mm-hmm. Batman's in 3 different places right now, if you ask me. Superman's in 4.
Mm-hmm. But except sometimes you can. When they get a wild hair up their ass, they'll be like, oh, yeah, that's no problem. Whatever.
Yeah, we'll do them over here and over
sure?
there and
yeah,
no big deal.
That's fine. We can have like 4 Supermen up on upcoming Crisis on Infinite Earths. All right, cool. Can we have them on Titans for a minute? No.
Yeah.
He's already been used. Where? 15 times on CW. What about Henry Cavill? We're not willing to say yet.
That's still
all right.
It's still a touchy topic. I get it though. I mean, you go back. Let's go back 8 years. Me and you. Mm-hmm. Watching Arrow in the first few seasons. Like the cast of characters that are available now. Mm-hmm. Like the fact that Supergirl's in universe is absurd compared to what we were originally told. The fact that there's a Superman, given both the Arrow universe and Supergirl's universe. Both absurd. Both wrote them out initially when you were talking to the producers and so on. Mm-hmm. I mean, this stuff grows on you. It's infectious in a way.
Yeah.
But it seems absurd at the time. It seems like a lot to handle, and then when you actually give an audience a chance to handle it, they do fine.
Yeah. Now, this might piss you off.
Yes.
But Greg Walker says that they're already planning season 3 of Titans. He says, there is no official green light. I remain optimistic and hopeful, and I'm steaming ahead as if we... ... No one's stopping me to steam ahead, but and hopefully they don't. I go by the beg forgiveness rather than ask permission mode, so we'll just keep on breaking story and hopefully no one notices that we just started making season 3, because we're excited about it. This sounds like some Lucifer showrunner bullshit to me.
Yeah, I get it. I completely get it. I gotta give him this though. It like Lucifer, the reason it's different is because it held out on you till the last second and then tried to do something, and that's not going to win you any favors. Mm-hmm. Titans, I got to give them credit. Based on season 1, they did some shit. And looking at season 2, they're doing some shit. Mm-hmm. Like it seems like they're willing to do stuff in season as opposed to at the last second. I'm not as resentful hearing that as I would be about a Lucifer situation.
Fair enough. I think I feel the same way. Like when Greg says it, yeah, I get the feeling. I don't know if you've heard like Paul Dini and Bruce Timm and Alan Burnett and all those cats talk about when they were doing the Batman animated series universe, how like a show would get canceled and they'd be like, oh, we don't really want that anymore. We want like a different kind of Batman that's doing this and this and this, or we want this and this. And the directive was never keep it in universe.
Oh yeah, no, they would
just kind of do it slyly.
Yeah, they kept it in universe, but they were doing like the floor is lava, jumping from couch to couch to ottoman. They masterfully, what they did is incredible.
I think the most blatant
and they did it against all of their circumstances. It's fucking, they deserve so much praise for what they pulled off.
I think the most blatant version of that was Batman Beyond, where they get called into the office after one season of the New Adventures of Batman, and they're like, we don't want to do that anymore. We want to do Batman in the future. We want him to be a teenager in the future. We think that will appeal to kids. And they're like, son of a bitch, how do we do that? And they get in the elevator. By the time they're in the parking lot, they're like, they have Batman Beyond thought out.
Yeah. Like literally before they unlocked their cars to leave the place, they were like, no, we've got a pretty good pitch.
All right, we got old man Bruce Wayne.
And new guy doing this. Yeah, they had a great. That was a bit magical that they pulled off what they did.
Oh, sorry, I'm like in a post-orgasmic glow, and I didn't even do anything. Look,
take a deep breath.
We're getting right back into it, though. DC Universe's Harley Quinn behind-the-scenes first look trailer released. Normally, we don't talk about the behind-the-scenes first look trailers, but I mean, damn, right?
But it looked great.
It looked so good.
So many entrails.
Oh, my dude.
So many entrails.
Alan Tudyk's Joker. What do you think?
Oh, yeah. Love it. Always knew we would love it. Mm-hmm. It was just a matter of time before we got to see Alan Tudyk's Joker. And Jesus fucking Christ, it's fantastic.
My big problem with it is that we don't get to see his face. That's
I would love if they mocapped it to some extent. But no, this is an animated adventure, and the animation, by the way, looks fantastic.
It really does. It looks great.
Unique and fantastic.
And I'm so excited that it looks like we're going to be getting into a little bit of what Batman is doing, because like we got Diedrich Bader back as Batman. If you don't know, Diedrich Bader has done Batman in a few different things, most notably Batman the Brave and the Bold, which I know he's, a blue and gray smiling Batman, but
blue and gray.
Damn it, give it a chance. Go to DC Universe, watch some Batman the Brave and the Bold. It is fantastic.
You will cry.
You will cry. You will
Guarantee
laugh
you will cry.
Your ass off. Don't take it seriously. It is a Silver Age nod, but it is really solid. It is a good show, and you're gonna see shit on that show that you never thought you would see in television ever.
Especially that take on the character. It is unique. Like the Batman Brave and the Bold will stand alone as something that was pulled off that was never thought possible.
If you liked the Batman Adam West series, if you liked Animaniacs, there's so much it is like this great amalgamation of humor. Like there's referential humor. Like they play with
fucking
stuff from
Tiny Toons even. Shit.
Yeah, they play back with like stuff from the animated series. Like you have like fourth wall breaking characters like Batmite, who go to a Batman convention, and we can see all of the angry faces of the nerds who are dressed like the Batman animated series universe characters, and they're mad because it's not part of that universe, and it's not dark anymore.
One of which is a cartoonized Paul Dini.
Oh yeah, there's Paul Dini and Bruce Timm are dressed as Batman. Joker and Harley, like in the front row.
Right.
But then again, you also have an episode, I think it was called Night of the Batman, where Batman's laid up. So all of like a bunch of his hero friends, like Green Arrow and Aquaman and whatnot, come up with their own Batman costumes and go take care of Gotham.
Yep.
And at the end of that bit, we have like a portal open, and there are all these different Batmen from the multiverse.
Yeah.
And we have Batman Beyond, we have Batman TAS Batman, we have the Batman from the Batman show up. It's fantastic.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, you should definitely check that out if you haven't seen it yet. But Diedrich Bader, that's the point I'm making. And we see him on the rooftop with Gordon, and Gordon's like, just like, sorry, son of a bitch. Just like, I was thinking that I would have like a barbecue with some of my friends. No. Just like Batman just shuts the shit down. Dude, Harley's throwing bombs in dudes' mouths and blowing their heads apart. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, redirecting Joker grenades and just blowing off a fucker's skull. Like, there's literally a scene with her and Poison Ivy where they have intestines draped over their shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
After, I don't know, maybe that explosion. I suspect another one.
And possibly one of my favorite things in the trailer is Harley saying, when people in this town hear the name Harley Quinn, I want them to piss their pants. I want a taste of that. And Joker turns around and goes, you want to taste piss? Like, no. Oh.
Yep.
It looks great.
It's coming with it. I did enjoy the behind the scenes trailer, specifically pointing out, there's going to be a combination of highbrow and lowbrow humor.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
I am really excited about Jim Rash playing the Riddler.
Oh yeah.
And Ron Funches, dude, like he's awesome too.
He is. So I also I forget who Phil Lamar is playing, but even
whoever
seeing him, that it doesn't matter. It doesn't. Here's a fundamental guarantee from me to anybody listening. I don't give a fuck who Phil Lamar is playing. You're gonna enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna be super excited about it, and you're gonna enjoy it. It's just a fact of life.
I watched like 3 seasons of Mad TV because Phil Lamar was there.
He's still one of those voices in Futurama that every time I hear him, oh god damn it, good job, buddy, good job, Phil.
Like I adore the film Pulp Fiction, but the one thing that really makes me sad about that movie is Phil Lamar dies so quickly.
Oh yeah, I understand. He was maybe not meant for the camera. I don't know, but his behind the camera, his vocal work stands for itself. That guy's incredible.
Well, I mean, to be fair, even that performance was hilarious because he's just in the back seat of their car, and they go over a pothole while John Travolta is like turned around talking to him. He's got his like gun in his hand, but kind of draped over the seat. And they go over a pothole, and he just like blows his brains out accidentally.
I know the scene. That was Phil Lamar?
Yeah.
Fuck. That's rough.
He was their informant. And they were going back
he's
to
talking
see
about a
Marcellus.
burger royale or whatever and fucking blows his head off. That's crazy. I forgot about that. I forgot that was him. Fuck. I think he's found a much better place, even as an actor, because he shows up for a few hours to do vocal work and goes home. And in the meantime, he fucking knocks it out of the park on the vocal work.
Oh, he absolutely does. Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. Harley Quinn. And it felt so much like the Birds of Prey trailer. It really did.
Yeah.
I love this. I love this style and this tone that they're setting for the Harley Quinn properties.
No, I mean, it's the emancipation of Harley Quinn. It's for sure what they're leaning on right now, and it sounds great. And I get why Birds of Prey, the live action version, is not necessarily going to have the Joker in it. Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess it's possible, but it's probably not going to be the case. So,
well, I mean, we have a shot of her leaving whatever dive they're in, and we can see it looks like a double of Leto's Joker in the window. We've seen that in the behind or in the set pictures.
Yeah. What you're not going to get is some fulfilling scene between him and her and Leto, for sure.
Maybe not.
I mean, I would love it.
If we did, they wouldn't tell us. Not yet. Not here. Not now.
I agree. But it's probably not going to happen.
Probably not. But
what you are going to get is the emancipated version of her. And in animated form, you're allowed to do different things. You can just bring in somebody who can do a great voice. And of course, we think Tudyk is going to knock it out of the fucking park.
Oh, yeah. I already love his laugh. He did the laugh.
Oh, yeah. The laugh was good.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Don't misapprehend me here. I don't think he'll usurp Hamill.
No, but
for me personally, but
Hamill has been followed by Baker, who did an admirable job. Mm-hmm. And then Baker is apparently going to be followed by, a lot of people. But in this context, it's going to be followed by Tudyk, and he sounds like he's going to do another admirable job. I mean, damn. That voice is not going to be the problem if this series is bad.
Yeah, which I don't think it will be. It looks fantastic.
It looks pretty good.
All right, over to the Arrowverse. We got this covered as reporting that Arrow 2040 is a go. That's not official.
Yeah, we'll see.
I really don't want that series.
Nah, I don't care.
I was not sold this last season on that storyline.
I wasn't either. I'm not, back on my heels in the sand against it yet, but I'm not for it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm, to be fair, I'm not doing that. What did you say? Backing my heels against the sand? Is that what you said?
Back of my heels in the sand?
Yeah, I'm not doing that, but I'll be open to it, but it doesn't have any of my interest.
Yeah. It's not where I would go with the Arrowverse right now.
Now, if we, could throw in and see like, oh, here's Kenyon Lonsdale coming back as like, a proper Flash or something from the future, and maybe we have, I don't know, some future people seeing how some things shook out.
Honestly, all of them, if they became Legionnaires, entirely different show. But 2040, I felt like we just did this for 8 years.
Yeah. Now, John Barrowman has been confirmed for the final season of Arrow.
Yeah. I mean,
not excited?
No, his death should matter. He shouldn't just come back in any capacity. But
well, I don't know how they're doing it because they are like, I almost called him Steven. Oliver is going apparently to be in different universes. Like he's running around with a monitor, so there's no reason to believe that this is going to be our version of Merlin.
Oh, I completely agree. And my only stipulation is I want him to be different. Mm-hmm. But past that, I love the guy, and he was really important to the show for a very long time. And he had one of the best endings the show's come up with.
Yeah.
So I would like him to be there. I would just also like him to be there and it be in the context that he's still dead. That's the only thing I have, the only hang up I have.
Yeah. I mean, well, Laurel's still dead. We've got a Laurel on the show.
Times. I want him to be dead.
Yeah. But again, we're doing multiverse, so.
I know.
It's just that's what they're focusing on right now. So that's what we're going to see.
I have no problem with another universe and he's still around and that's great.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember the dude from iZombie being on Supergirl? Raul Coley?
Yeah.
He's coming back to Supergirl.
Great. Love that guy.
He's like an Indian Jim Harper from The Office.
That's actually pretty accurate, yeah.
He looks and acts just like freaking John Krasinski to me.
Yeah. Honestly, they're probably the same height.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just as like relatable. Every time I see that guy, I think, yeah, I like this dude. What's he doing now?
He's playing Scarecrow in the Harley Quinn show.
Yeah, I saw that. I was super into it. I want to see him. I want to hear him be scary. I think he can be. I heard him be scary in iZombie.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Vertigo product. I wish we touched more.
I mean, you're welcome to
really
touch
good.
it.
Oh, I'm gonna touch it.
You're welcome to touch it. We have a Patreon. We have a Patreon now. So if you wanted to go back and
I'm gonna touch it and feel it.
Carve out some time to do a recap of all that. My God, go for it. I'm not going near it, but
you can't. I haven't convinced you to watch it yet, but I promise you, it would be worth your time.
It might be, but I can't do it right now.
I understand.
All right, over to Batwoman. Sam Littlefield has been cast in a recurring role as Mouse, a dynamic figure who is working for Alice in the Wonderland gang. Sam Littlefield, that sounds familiar to me. He was on The Leftovers, but I didn't make it to his point. So I don't know what I know him from. He's been in a ton of stuff, though. I'm looking at his IMDb. And,
don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. He looks familiar, though, for sure. And over on Legends of Tomorrow, this is like the big CW news for me this week, and I'm bummed out about it. Brandon Routh and Courtney Ford are leaving the show.
Who's Courtney Ford?
That's Nora Dark.
Oh.
Brandon Routh's real life wife.
Yeah, his actual wife. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I mean, she's good on the show. I like hers and Brandon Routh's relationship on the show. Ray Palmer, he plays the Atom.
Right.
Though we haven't seen him do that in a long time.
Yeah, he has.
He has what?
He's been Adam for sure, but
I haven't seen him do it for a while though.
No, he's mostly like a mascot.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, they're leaving the show. It was a creative decision to wrap up their storyline. And, they also said, of course, when we have main characters in the past whose journeys take them away from the Wave Rider, it's never truly goodbye. We love those characters and hope to check in with them in future seasons. But yeah, I'm bummed.
Yeah, I mean,
I like Ray. I like Ray and Nate's camaraderie. I like his and Nora's relationship. I wanted to see more of that. Hopefully we'll get to see him interact with his version of Superman in Crisis, because that'd be fun.
Yeah,
they're not saying when they leave, but
they're shooting right now though, so something has happened.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's fine for the show.
Mm-hmm.
They've introduced a lot, and mainly they've introduced Matt Ryan's Constantine. So
yeah. Well, that's fine. I like Constantine, but also, as my wife will attest, I have a huge crush on Courtney Ford. So I'm really sad about her leaving.
I understand.
I'm like, we're watching Legends, and I'm become Mr. Freeze over here. Nora.
Yeah, sorry. And she has. They've actually both had a pretty good arc.
Mm-hmm.
Something you've pointed out many, many times, though, is he was introduced as a tragic character and has become a bit happy-go-lucky.
Mm-hmm.
But in the context of a lot of things, including Constantine, it's kind of made sense.
Yeah.
I will be interested in how they wrap up the story of him leaving the Wave Rider. Like, made sense when Firestorm did. It made sense when Kid Flash did. But, yeah, I'll be curious.
Yeah. I mean, you don't really have to like come up with a huge reason for someone going, you know what? I'm tired of putting my life on the line every day.
Yeah, you kind of do though. Because if you're
I'm
the kind of
out.
person who wants to put their life on the line every day, you have to come up with a reason they want to leave that lifestyle.
Yeah, I just don't think there's. I think the very definition of the lifestyle is the reason.
No, I think the burden of proof is on the other side. That's part of you as a person. You enjoy doing that, and you need to come up with a reason that, like, it's almost the old like warrior samurai concept. You want to die in battle, you know.
But you know, I wonder if they're gonna play this up because you know the reason Ray went that way was because his fiance died, or wife, or whatever she was. So he wanted to be a hero.
Yeah.
To honor her. Well, now he has been a hero. He has gone through the ringer, found out that he wasn't going to amount to anything. The world thought he was dead and they didn't care. Rip Hunter says, you guys, none of you contribute anything to the future that makes a damn.
Yeah.
He saves the life of Nora, so he's effectively saved someone he has feelings for. And it's time to get back on track with that life he was going to have with his wife. He's done his bit for King and Country. I bet that's how they'll frame it.
That's fair. That could happen. I think it's also possible the boldest thing he's ever done is give Nora the out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, bold enough to create a costume and let's face it, defeat Green Arrow, momentarily at least. But he did. He became a hero and he became a legend and all that. But yeah, there's still a lot to be told about his personal journey. I mean, he did start as a guy whose entire purpose was because of a great loss, and yeah, he can go a lot of ways with this. I'm not sure how they're going to send him out. They could send him out on a sad note, and it could just be like a happy. I don't know. He goes between happy and sad so much as a character that I'm not sure where we're going to leave him. But I'm okay with leaving him because the show can still move on without Ray Palmer.
It can.
Kind of hoping it opens the door for Ted Kord.
Saucy. That's a saucy wish list, man.
We've been teasing Ted Kord for years. Fucking do it, man. Just fucking do it. Like, you know, the kid that's on the high dive and is just like standing at the edge of it and trying to get his nerve up.
Uh-huh.
That's how I think of the CW regarding Ted Kord.
I feel like they want to do Ted Kord, and every time they do, Warner Brothers and DC are like, yeah, we're going to do a movie. No, you're not.
No, you're not. Until you do that movie, we're going to do a Ted Kord.
We're not. We don't want to do that yet. But yeah, I don't know. That's all the news I have, by the way.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, guys.
Disappointing.
The show's over. It's done. We're out. By the way, real quick. Instead of pimping Patreon again, I'm going to say this. If you guys want to help support us, but you don't want to deal with paying money, you could always share us, and that's really awesome. And because there's some statistic I just read that 70% of new listeners who come into podcasts did so through word of mouth. So if you know people who like this kind of stuff, and you like our show enough to do it, and you don't feel like, you're going to be embarrassed or whatever, you don't think it'll hurt your personal brand, recommend this show to them. And I just went over to our Apple podcast page, and I don't think we've had a new review since like 2018. So it don't cost nothing to leave a review. Go leave us a review so it doesn't look like we're dead.
I also just it's a similar feeling. I don't want to embarrass my daughter, but I inevitably will.
Oh yeah, that's already in the can. Don't you worry about that. But yeah, so yeah, Apple review and sharing us is a huge thing. Such a huge thing.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all I've got. I'm gonna go watch some Doctor Who with my wife.
I understand. I'm short 2 episodes of the last season.
I see. I haven't even made it that far.
9 months.
Yeah, I haven't even made it that far. I haven't watched any of the Jodie Whittaker stuff, but she finally got to the name of the doctor, the day of the doctor, and the time of the doctor, and I was like, no, you got to watch that with me. So we just watched the 50th anniversary a couple days ago, and with Tennant and Matt Smith and John Hurt. and she's got that final Matt Smith story.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, there's a lot going on there.
I'm excited about watching that with her, and then I'll be like, all right, well, enjoy the rest of the Capaldi run, and we'll see you back when you get to Whitaker.
Oh, I enjoyed the Capaldi run.
I enjoy the Capaldi run, but I've recently watched it. You know what I mean? I'm sure I'll pop in from time to time. And
I watched most of it, close to air, and really enjoyed it. It was annoying how much of the fan base was not on board. It also had to do with the companions, and I enjoyed the companions as well, and didn't. Some of the hatred toward the storyline was I felt unfounded, but getting to that, the Whitaker run, I've also really enjoyed her Doctor.
See, I haven't seen any of her run,
and I'm short about 2 episodes, but it's not for lack of interest; it's for lack of time. I mean, I've purchased the season. I own those 2 episodes theoretically. Just haven't actually watched them.
Fair enough. Yeah, I get on kicks, so I've enjoyed
Doctor Who is a kick.
I've enjoyed watching it with my wife.
Yeah, I mean, and I'll go through stages where I watch it and I'm super into that universe, and then like a year will pass, and I'll go back and find something else.
Just all of a sudden you go, oh yeah, I remember I was into that. Yeah. What happened to that? It's
nothing against the universe. It's just I lose time for it. And when I get back into it, I'm really into it and enjoy it.
I'm just happy I was the one that convinced you to watch it.
You were, and good job.
All right, we're going to take off now. So guys, gals, sorry, that's group talk. You there sitting in your car or standing at your sink washing dishes and wishing we'd shut the hell up. You get your wish. Until next time, keep some DC on your screen.
Thank you.
Love you.
I feel bad about what just happened.
My lips are salty.
I apologize. You shouldn't be hearing as much about Dave's lips.
My salty lips brought to you by Blue Diamond Bold Habanero Barbecue Almonds.
God damn you. God damn you, Dave.
Stay tuned after the credits. We got a new voicemail from the Witter Woman, and we will respond to it. Witter Woman. Our intro music is by Jason Goss and Michael Shackelford. Michael's band, Galactic Engineers of Magnetic Sounds, or GEMS, can be found on SoundCloud and Bandcamp. Visit DCOnScreen.com to find our Patreon, merch, contact information, and every episode of the show for free, including crossovers we've done with other podcasts. DC On Screen is a maladjusted production. For more from me and Jason, including sketch comedy, vlogs, parodies, and our improvised web series Hey Guy, visit maladjusted.tv.
Are you maladjusted?
Well, back in the Depression, of course, we didn't have much to eat. We'd have a little crust of bread, or we'd eat hog knuckles, or we'd eat chicken feet. You get whatever you could. And, well, ain't really nothing worse than a cow tongue. Cow tongue is real tough, and it it tastes like, outside of it tastes like sandpaper. But we had a butcher in our town back in the Depression. His name was Cletus Snyder. And Cletus Snyder, he was a good old butcher. He'd give you, if you wanted some tripe or other stuff like that, he'd save it for you. Or fat, and you could render it down and make you some crackling bread. Well, anyway, he one time he came up with a way he could make cow tongue, and he'd have to cut it just a certain way, and only he knew how to do it, and it'd make it taste. Oh, it was pretty good. Of course, back then you'd take what you could get. But anyway, we'd have to go to that old butcher store and ask for the Snyder cut. And I heard y'all talking about it the other day, and I didn't know that y'all knew about the Snyder cut, but that's how we'd get our tongue back in. I thought y'all might like to know where the Snyder cut got its name. All right. Well, and I'll thank you, and I'll call you again. I'm glad to hear you on, and Oh no. Oh no, I just sold my drawers. I gotta go. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
All right, so we've just heard from the old Witter Woman.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Witter Woman, for explaining to us how we can find the Snyder Cut
And the origins.
What a fine thing to learn on this podcast.
Yeah.
If the Witter Woman wasn't so viscerally aggravating to certain listeners, we probably would have played that helpful information for the entire audience, as opposed to just playing it after the credits. But it's just easier this way.
Yeah, some people don't like the aesthetic of the Witter Woman, and I understand, but it amuses us.
It does. I'm listening to the voicemail going, where is this going? And then it's like, oh, the Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, once you got
cool.
to that point, I thought, okay, that's pretty great. That's pretty, yeah.
Must you always soil yourself when you're on the phone with us, Witter Woman? Mm-hmm. Must you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
For sure.
Oh, dear God.
Yeah. Such is the nature.
He was a good old butcher.
Mm-hmm. And a quick briefer in Depression era recipes.
Mm-hmm.
Hog knuckles and whatnot.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Cow's tongue.
Mm-hmm.
Tastes like sandpaper on the outside.
Never tried it. Still available at
Yeah.
certain Mexican restaurants if you find one authentic enough.
Ugh. No, thank you.
I don't know. I keep meaning to try it.
I don't mean to try it at all.
I'm gonna try it at some point.
That's like when you watch like I don't know, Discovery Channel or something. They're like, oh, this tribe cooks monkey brains and you eat it right out of the skull. I'm like, nope. No.
I mean, yeah, I don't know where my line is and for what or for why, but for some reason, brains, nah, I'm good.
Well, look, I'm
that
sure
could
I've
be
eaten
because eating neurons is bad for people that operate on neurons. I cite Guru or mad cow disease, but apparently DNA upon DNA is bad. But same time, I wouldn't mind trying cow tongue. I'd try it. Now, other side of it, there's some kind of blowfish that you may die if you eat. I'm not. Fuck that.
Mm-hmm. I remember that Simpsons episode. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm not doing that. I don't know where the line is. I do believe you should try something, but there, I don't know. There have to be limits.
I mean, I'm sure I've eaten brain and
alligator. It's really tasty, like greasy chicken,
tongue, and I'm sure I've eaten all sorts of disgusting things. But
as hot dogs,
as God and the founding fathers intended.
Frankfurters, as they would have referred to them, I'm sure.
Sounds fantastic. I might actually get up and go get a hot dog in a minute.
Yeah.
It's like I got those little low carb wraps in there, like the whole wheat low carb mission wraps.
I've got some Nathan's in my refrigerator right now, and I haven't eaten today. Sounds fantastic.
I'm gonna wrap a hot dog up in there and cook it, and I'm gonna have me a little low carb pig in a blanket there.
Yeah. I have all the ingredients for that, and it sounds fantastic.
Fantastic, wonderful, even. All right, well, that's all I had.
Yeah.
Thank you, Witter Woman. You're always welcome on this show, and we love you.
At the end of the show. We do love you. We do love you.
I may very well one day backtrack and find all of your instances of Witter Woman on our show and make them into a supercut for Patreon.
That's not unprecedented. We should do it.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.